The return is a separate matter. I don't need to show that I'm exercising. I merely wanted them to know that all these lies about my health certainly don't hold water.
Imelda Marcos was wrapping up an interview yesterday when she got the call. There was another crisis. Her husband's heart had stopped. Imelda went rushing to St. Francis Hospital. By the time she got to St. Francis, Ferdinand Marcos was on an internal pacemaker. His condition seemed to stabilize, raising the possibility that he would once again rally. But as the evening wore on, hope began to dim. Doctors said kidney and lung failure and a widespread infection added to the cardiac arrest that led to Marcos's death. That came shortly after the arrival from California of Marcos's son, Ferdinand Jr., who's known as Bong Bong.
When Bong Bong arrived, I think he felt that his son was there, so he opened his eyes. And after opening his eyes, that was it.
We do find ourselves at the end of an era. And as one chapter closes, another one opens. And I find myself facing the awesome responsibility of trying to fill my father's shoes.
Arrangements are in place for the arrival of the remains of the late President Ferdinand Marcos. Despite hostility in much of the country, Marcos is revered in the northern Philippines. Supporters predict that tens of thousands of people of the northern provinces will extend a hero's welcome to their favorite son, who was toppled under a popular revolt in 1986. President Fidel Ramos agreed to the family's request that the remains be buried in the Philippines, but only on the condition that the body was to be flown directly to Ilocos Norte, the home province of the one-time dictator. Hundreds of Filipinos filed past the coffin this weekend in Honolulu before it was flown to Guam on its way to the Philippines. His supporters remain loyal. Despite charges, he looted the Philippine treasury during his 20 years in power. There is even a cult in the Marcos home province devoted to venerating the former dictator. Cult members believe him to be a god, and they manifest the sentiment to his widow, Imelda Marcos.
Ferdinand will come, and this will be the beginning of true unity and reconciliation.
Walk tall, walk proud, with your head held high, for you have fought for the greatest cause that any man could ever know, and you have fought that fight with its greatest champion. You who loved him, family and friend, weep not, for you sat at the feet of a man touched by God.
It is traditional in the Filipino family that the eldest son take his father's place. I can only tell you, at the risk of some presumption, that as the head of the Marcos family, personal and political and professional, we shall always continue to stand for what he stood for. We will always stand for stability, development, justice, and unity and nationalism.
Ladies and gentlemen of the 18th Congress, Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., the duly elected President of the Republic of the Philippines.
May we request the
duly elected President, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., to proceed to the rostrum.